what is crucial to realize about the divine plan or anything to do with something like the divine plan is that if it's really from the divine plane, if it's really of divine substance, it will not make sense to you in your life at first. It may give you a sense of, wow, that's the meaning. But it will not make sense in the terms of your life. It will not fulfill a meaning for you as a personal self. If that's what you're in or what you believe in, so you have kind of an idea of this is the divine plan for my life, this makes sense to me, then be pretty sure that you're filtering that information through your personal mind, through the ideas that you have created about you, yourself, and your life. By nature of needing to have a meaning in your personal life, needing to find some explanation that gives you meaning, that makes sense for you, by nature of that motivation, you are deluded by yourself because you're coming from yourself in approaching the divine plan. And if you're coming from yourself, you filter through yourself, and the result or the conclusion that you draw are also according to your personal self. To see something like the divine plan of your life, you got to come from a divine space within. And divine space is too big of a word. You need to come from a being space. And a tabula rasa, a beginner's mind, as they call it in Zen, an openness that is not just open in your mind, but you being openness. That's a beingness that can let in something of the truth, because it's not filtered by what truth suits you or what kind of truth makes sense for you, or it's not determined by you in your life. It's determined by its isness. And its isness, the isness of divine plan, is of an eternal reality. know what that is. Beyond your little ideas. Beyond your concept of this is my life, and also beyond your concepts of this is my life is for this, my life is like your religious or spiritual ideas of what your life is all about. That's still your ideas, that's still your mind, as spiritual these ideas might be. The reality of it is beyond your mind. Which means it is accessible, but it's accessible by a different channel than your own mind. It's relatable by way of resonance. And resonance doesn't give you information in your mind. That's already a translation. And in that translation, you can almost bet that there is a manipulation. It's a mistranslation into your mind. Because a real translation of resonance into the mind it isn't based on the language of the mind. It isn't based on the structuring of your thinking. It's based on the language of what's eternal, the language of being. That is non-mental and most direct. It's most direct, and you can have that direct sense, and you can have that direct sense in this context of knowing that there is a higher plan for everything in your life. You can have that direct sense. It's deeply within and finely tuned within, available. But it will not make sense for you and your idea of your life at first. Why? Because what needs to happen for that translation to be a correct translation, for that understanding of the divine plan to be a real understanding of the divine plan, which is a really big thing. Just a little bit of it is already a lot, just to say. But for that to happen, your mind and the structuring of your mind, of your ideas, of your perception of reality, your whole world needs to be completely reconstituted. All the strands and all the streams and all the ways and all the pathways and all the mechanisms of thinking that you're used to, they are bound by the personal self, because I mean that's what you have. That's what you're in this life, in this person, and that's what the world is made of. That you're surrounded by and immersed in. these structuring needs, like it's an absolute need for that to transform, to be redone, to be first undone, which can be a very painful process, I tell you, and then redone, which is a very blissful process. But it's only blissful when you have actually let the undoing completely, I mean, all the way in. If you are undone, then the restructuring of your mind, the building of an eternal beingness mind is wow. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing and amazing and amazing. It will only be amazing you. And even in little ways, I mean, if you were not, it's yes, it needs to be happen in all of it, for you to be in all of it, and yes, it happens also partially. And even in a partial way, when you let go of some structure of what you believe, let's make it tangible. Maybe you believed, oh, my mission in life is to be a whatever a teacher and to work with kids, and I'm so good in art, so I have to be an art teacher. I'm good with art and I'm good with kids, so I have to be an art teacher, and that's the mission of my life. Well, it's all good, but that's yourself. That's yourself. That's it. It's not the divine plan for you. The divine plan has not to do with your abilities here. It's not to do with being good with kids and nothing to do with you being the most awesome artist. It's got to do with what your soul is here for. And letting a touch of that resonance in, but in a way that really permeates your sense, even for just a moment. It fills you with something of the other side, of the divine. But it will in itself, it is in itself not designed to make you a better artist or a better teacher. It is designed to just be what it is in you, which can later on then in expression flourishing into you doing a totally different kind of art, or you finding such a new and intimate and beautiful way to be with kids that you didn't have before. So the transformation will have an effect in your life, but according to its terms, not to your terms. Yeah. Enjoy the journey.